Vice President Kamala Harris recently delivered a blistering speech where she took aim directly at former President Donald Trump. Harris didn't hold back in her criticism, describing Trump as an unserious man, while also making it crystal clear that the danger he poses to the United States is very real. She went so far as to say that Trump is out of his mind, which underscores just how seriously she views the threat he represents to the future of the country. But before we get into the details, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. This powerful speech came during the final night of the Democratic National Convention held at the United Center in Chicago. It was a pivotal moment for Harris as she formally accepted the Democratic nomination for president. The atmosphere was charged, and as she progressed through her speech, she shifted her focus to Trump, who will be her main rival in the upcoming November election. Harris issued a stark warning about the potential consequences of a second Trump presidency, particularly highlighting the impact it could have on the middle class. She painted a grim picture, suggesting that another term with Trump in office would lead to even greater chaos and division, with policies that would primarily benefit the wealthy elite while leaving ordinary Americans to struggle. The state's message was clear. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the middle class in particular would face severe challenges under Trump's leadership. So one of the most striking moments in her address came when Harris spoke about the events of January 6th, the day a violent mob stormed the U.S. Capitol. She didn't mince words in holding Trump accountable for his role in that dark day, accusing him of inciting the violence and then abandoning his responsibility to the nation in its moment of crisis. According to Harris, Trump's actions on January 6th are emblematic of a leader who is solely motivated by self-interest with little to no regard for the democratic principles that have long been the cornerstone of American governance. In addition to her critique of Trump's behavior, Harris also touched on a controversial Supreme Court decision that provided Trump with legal protection against prosecution. She raised serious concerns about what could happen if Trump were to return to the White House without any checks on his power. Harris warned that with the legal protections he has been granted, Trump could feel emboldened to make even more dangerous and reckless decisions, potentially leading to outcomes that could have disastrous consequences for the country. Harris also took a strong stance on immigration, specifically calling out Trump for undermining a bipartisan border security bill. This bill had the potential to address some of the most pressing issues related to immigration. But according to Harris, Trump's interference derailed the effort. She promised that if she is elected, she will revive this bill and ensure that it is signed into law, demonstrating her commitment to tackling the nation's challenges with practical and effective solutions. Throughout her speech, Harris emphasized her vision for a presidency that serves all Americans, regardless of their political affiliation. She contrasted this inclusive approach with Trump's leadership, which she characterized as self-serving and divisive. In a particularly bold move, Harris even compared Trump to authoritarian leaders, suggesting that dictatorships like those in Russia and North Korea are hoping for his victory in the upcoming election. This comparison was meant to highlight the global stakes of the U.S. election and to remind voters of the potential consequences on the international stage. Given the intensity of Harris's remarks, it's almost certain that Trump's response will be anything but subdued. We can expect him to take to social media with his characteristic fiery rhetoric, launching a series of posts aimed at discrediting Harris and defending his record. This exchange is likely to dominate the political discourse in the days ahead as both candidates ramp up their campaigns and prepare for the final stretch before the election. But beyond the immediate back and forth between Harris and Trump, this speech has set the stage for what is shaping up to be one of the most consequential elections in recent history. So the future direction of the country is on the line, and Harris made it clear that she is ready to fight for her vision of America. This speech is just the beginning of what promises to be a heated and high-stakes battle for the White House. So, what's your take on Harris's speech? Do you agree with her assessment of Trump, or do you think she went too far? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you stay up to date on all the latest developments in this critical election season.